We don't. So I think going back to the sort of how the model has kind of grown up, right, in our industry. We've got revenue cycle, management companies on the provider side. We started out with the intent of making sure that the service that's rendered is translated into an accurate bill. But in that process, all kinds of enhancements have crept in to where it prompts, I think, essentially the potential services that could be done and whether or not they're medically necessary sometimes creep into the billing processes. And uh, and then, on the flip side, then there's a equal arms race happening on the helpline side to detect that and make sure that, those are weeded out and that only the truly accurate services that are rendered that are medically necessary are reimbursed. So I think, and that's like a zero-sum game where neither party wins in that process, and it's an arms race to create more and more capabilities that perhaps perpetuate an existing status quo that isn't sustainable nor ideal. So our view is that a future where we disarm both sides to where RCM kind of goes back to its roots of making sure that the billing, from whatever service is rendered is accurate. And then health plans play the role of making sure it's compliant, it's medically necessary, it's accurate, and it's per the agreed upon provider contracts as well as reimbursement policies. And if that happens, then there should be no friction in the payments. It should be transparent. It should be easily understood by all parties and settled in real time as much in real time as possible. The intent is accuracy versus upcoding. So we're detecting both, hey, you performed this, but you didn't bill for it or you didn't account for it. In other ways, so we might actually reimburse more than what the provider's asking for in some cases. In other cases, you might say, well, you added on for additional charges that don't seem to fit the pattern of what this claim should look like. So go back and look at that again and make it accurate. So it's both on the plus side as well as the minus side to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. Whereas, so there may be others that may say, well, if you didn't bill for something and if you bill for less than what you should have been billed for, we won't catch that and only detect things that are, upcoding. And as you mentioned, that's kind of where I was saying our core philosophy is that we're impartial to the net value of what we're rendering judgment on, and but to make sure that it's accurate.